Alright, this video is going to look at some basics of using Canva, which is an online platform you can use to create graphics, flyers, and that type of thing. So to start off, you'll go to canva.com, www.canva.com, and you will have to create an account, but it's free, so go ahead and create an account. You can use your school email, and it does not cost any money to set that up. And so the first thing, kind of the landing page you see here, this is logged into my account, but you see a few things it's trying to highlight, and then you have a search bar for what would you like to design. And you can try searching any sort of thing. I think probably the most common things we would use this for, what I would recommend for, is going to be posters or flyers, and then also some of your little graphics to go with a social media post or even on your website post. So for example, we just did an announcement to take our parent survey. That's the school climate survey. So if I wanted to do a little graphic to go with that, I can search, for example, Facebook post. And that's going to be formatted in a way that's, sized well to share out on Facebook. And so once I've clicked on that type of design, or once you've searched for something, it will pull up your new design, and it's going to be formatted in the shape and size based on what item you search for. And then over here on the left, you'll see a bunch of different types of templates. So I'm just going to scroll through some of these, and you'll see all different type of things. Some of them are categories. You can click more if you want to see more in that category, or you can search more specific if you want to. But like I said, for right now, I'm looking for an example of something to use for our parents survey. So I'm going to use this one. I like the look of that. And so you can click over here on the left, and that will pull up that template on the right for you to type into. So one thing to be aware of, just be mindful of how much information you have as far as like text, and try and pick a template that goes with relatively the same amount of text. So if I want to, you can click in, and if I want to change the text, I can just highlight and then type in what I want it to say. But keep in mind, it needs to be relatively the same size. So I'm going to say JMCSS parents. I'm going to double click to highlight that portion. I'm going to say take our parent survey. And then right here, I'm going to click in and say www.surveymonkey.com. And there's my link. So since that's all the information I had, I knew this template would be a good fit. Once you've typed stuff in, if I now decided I wanted to go back and change to this template over here, I would have to start over. So it will not keep your text if you start a new template, because it's basically going to create a new post. But other than changing just the text, I can also change the image that's in the template. So to do that, I'll come over here. So we were on the templates tab. That's where we chose our template. This next one down is called elements. And so what you can do is search for anything, and it's basically, pull in different images that are free to be used in this way. You will see once you start searching. So for example, I'll just search parent. You'll see some things that cost money. So you'll see a lot of these that cost $1, but there should be plenty of free things that you can use without having to use the cost ones. Do note, I don't think there's a way to filter your search. So you just have to look and choose the ones that are free. But I've always been able to find a bunch, and I will show in a minute how you can upload your own. But once you see an image you might want to use, you basically click and drag it right in. And so let go, and there it is. The new image is in your graphic. So one thing to know, if instead of clicking and dragging, if I just click on an image, it's going to just plop that whole image right there in the middle of the page. So I'm going to click delete to delete that. But if you want to change the image, you click and drag until it appears. And so you could see on that one, like if I drag it there, it's going to appear into the background. If I drag it here, there it is in my image where I wanted it. So this example, you'll see I chose one that did cost money. And so when I put it in my design, it's got these, like basically the watermark and the grid going across. That's to tell me that that costs money, and so it won't show up correctly until I pay for it. So I'm going to go ahead and change to a free one. So again, click and drag until I see that in there. And I like the look of that one. I'm going to double click on the image to edit it. Once it's in the template, then you can kind of click and drag if you want to move it around. I'll click done, but right there you can also resize and that kind of thing. So don't feel like you have to spend a whole lot of time on it. The whole thing about Canva is it's just kind of easy. Just stick it in and you're done. But you can make a few kind of tweaks as you would like to. So I'm going to zoom that in a little bit there. And the other thing you can do, you kind of see these options up here, but I'm going to look at adjusting this filter so that it kind of looks a little bit better with the yellow background. So once I'm done with that, I'll click out of it, and there's my graphic. So let's see, a couple other things you can do that I just want to show. I do want to add in the link, the hyperlink, so I'm going to copy that link. And then with having this highlighted, you can kind of click around and see like highlighting different pieces. So right now I've clicked on the background, so that comes up over here where it's a yellow background. If I wanted to change the color of the background, I could do that there. But if I click this, you can see these are kind of grouped together. In most of the templates, you will see the text pieces being grouped together. And so right from there, I can click the three dots to bring up a little bit of extra things. That's where I could ungroup if I did want to delete something. But I can also add in my hyperlink there. So the three dots with whatever's selected, add my hyperlink. I'm going to paste it in and click apply. And that way, if you save it as a PDF, so it only works with PDF, not if you download it as an image file, but it will have the hyperlink, so if somebody clicks, they can actually go straight to the survey. And so that's going to depend how you share it out, but that's, Canva can be as basic as that. Just choose your template, click and drag into a new photo, retype your text, and you're good to go. So we're going to look at how to then save the file. So up here under this publish, you can click download. And so, for example, depending how you want it, like I said, if you do a PDF, it will have the hyperlink in it. I think for a lot of these, if you're just doing a little image to put on your website or to share out on Facebook, a JPEG is probably the best thing. That's just a standard image file. And it is telling me here, looks like you have links in your design. For links to work, choose a PDF. So I know that my hyperlink will not work if I do a JPEG. That's okay in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and download. And you'll see it's downloaded. It's going to pop up in a new window. And there's my image I can share out on Facebook or on the website. I'm going to click X on that. It lives in my downloads. I can get it from there to upload to my site. I'll X out of that. So that's kind of one round. If you just do something super simple, of course you are welcome to play around more. I did want to show a couple other things. If you come over here onto uploads, you do have the ability to upload an image to use in your design. So click on that. It's going to open up to your file explorer, whatever that looks like on your computer. And if you have an image that you took, you could click it and drag it in as your background. That's really the basics of Canva. Feel free to play around. There's all kinds of more stuff you can do in there. Of course, if you're doing a flyer, you can have multiple pages. I will real quick look back home And you'll see everything saves automatically. So this right here, your designs, that's going to be the design I just did, because it's going to keep the name. I forgot to rename it, but whatever it's named as, it will show up there in your designs. And as you go, it kind of saves. So you can download your copy as an image file, but other than that, it will live in your account if you need to make any changes and then re-download. It might take a minute for that to come up, but we'll just look real quick. Add a flyer, and so each time you do that, it's opening in a new page. But just to give you kind of an idea, the different types of event flyers, there's all kinds of things. And with any of these, I mean, click and look at it. Click once to bring it up in here. So this obviously has more space for text than that Facebook post, but same thing, I can go over and find an image that I want to drag in the background. And okay, a couple things on the image search. It's going to default to all. If you're specifically looking for photos, you can change that there. So look, I like this photo. Let's drag that in, and there we go. All you have to do is click and highlight, change your text, and you'll be good to download a nice little flyer. So really, this is a great way to do graphics that look really good. It's pretty easy and user-friendly. Doesn't require any special software. The main thing about it is just high quality, easy to grab images, and easy to use. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, ways we would recommend using this would be little things to share out with social media posts. Likewise, if you need a graphic like this to go with a news story, if you didn't have photos, anything like that. If you're doing a flyer, you can always come up here, again, download. They do offer printing. Obviously, we're not going to be doing, the stuff that costs money, but you can download that as a PDF. And that'll be perfect to share out via email, or even to link as a document on your announcements on your website, or in that type of way. So hopefully this will help. And like I said, now if we go back home, let's see if my designs showed up again. So remember, it won't rename unless you rename it, but there is my design living still in my account, so I won't lose that. And there you go. I encourage you to play around. They do have all kinds of training. I opened a lot of tabs here. But they have, there's all kind of YouTube type tutorials out there for Canva. But really the best thing is just play around with it. And you'll notice I use it a lot for different things. I just think it's a really good resource for us to just improve the quality of the flyers and info that we're putting out there. So feel free to share this out with others at your building, and hopefully this is helpful for you. Thanks.